Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I am Abdul Rauf A. Kamid and will be reporting the assigned topic of mine, which is the Shiites. So Ali B. Abu Talib was the most excellent of the companions, but the caliphate was entrusted to Abu Bakr, partly for reasons of expediency and partly from religion confederations. There was, for example, the need of extinguish the fire of civil war and set the rest of the heart to the people, whose experience of the wars which took place at the time of the Prophet was still a recent, and the sword of Ali, the commander of the faithful. So si Ali B. Abu Talib ay isa sa pinakamatalino at magaling na companions ng Prophet, at ang mga caliphate or yung mga leader ay pinagkatiwalaan siya sa kadahilanang siya ay nababagay dito at sa kadahilanan kakayahan niya sa pag-aalyansya ng mga religion or yung pag-aalliance. Siya rin ay magaling sa pakikipagdigmaan at pinangalanan bilang isang pinuno ng mga matatapat. And he was still moist with the blood of the Quraysh and other politics. Moreover, there was lingering rancor in the hearts of men and desire for vengeance. Men's hearts, therefore, were not fully disposed towards Ali, and they were not ready to give him a wholehearted submission. Accordingly, it was expedient that the man exercising the imamate should be one known to them to be gentle, kind, and mature age, an early adherent of Islam, and close to the Prophet. Sariwa pa sa kay Ali ang pakikipagdigmaan niya laban sa mga Quraysh, sa iba pang mga politis, at sa pakikipagdigma nila nararapat lang na nababagay sa mga tauhan or sa mga kalalakihan ang pagsanay sa kanilang mga sarili, at upang maging gentle, kind or mabait, at saka marami nang natutunan para sa maagang paninindigan sa Islam at mapalapit sa propeta. Do you not recall that during his last illness, when Abu Bakr proposed to confer to the caliphate upon Umar bin al-Khattab, commander of the faithful, the people cried out in protest, saying to him, "You have placed over us one who is severe and harsh." Thus they did not approve of the choice of Umar, commander of the faithful, because his sternness and severity, his strict enforcement of religion laws, and his harsh treatment of the enemy. Abu Bakr, however, reassured them by saying, "If God were to call me to account, I would answer that appointed the best man among them and the best for them. Accordingly, it is permissible for a man of lesser excellence to be an imam, even though there may be found a man of greater excellence, one to whom may be referred matters of law and whose decision may be followed." Hindi niyo ba maisip or maalala na noong meron siyang sakit at huling sakit na niya, na kung saan sinabi ni Abu Bakr na imungkahi at ibigay ang pag-caliphate or pagiging isang leader kay Umar al-Khattab, na isa ring commander ng mga faithful or matatapat, at ganun pa man nagprotesta ang mga tao habang sinasabi nila na ilalagay or pipiliin mo sa amin ang isang lalaki na may taglay na karahasan at kalupitan. At ganun pa man hindi nila inapruba ang pagpili sa kay Omar dahil sa tigas ng kanyang ulo at sa kanyang pagiging marahas, sa kanyang pagiging strikto sa relihiyon, at sa kanyang pagiging malupit sa mga kalaban. Ganun pa man, tiniyak ni Abu Bakr ito sa pagsabing, "Kung tawagin ako ng Panginoon para managot dito, aking isasagot na pinili ko ang pinakamahusay sa kanilang lahat at pinakamaganda sa kanilang lahat. At ayon pa sa kanya, pwede naman at pwedeng-pwede maging imam ang mga taong mababa lang ang kanilang nalalaman or hindi ganong kataas ang kanilang pinag-aralan." kahit pa na meron nahanap or ibang mas matalino or maalam, na kung saan sa kanya makita ang mga mahahalaga at importante sa batas at kung saan sa kanya rin nasusunod ang mga desisyon. When the Shiites of Kufa heard that Zayd had expressed these views and learned that he did not dissociate himself from the two senior companions, they rejected him for the rest of his life. It was for this the reason that they were called Rafida, or the rejectors. Difference arose between Zayd b. Ali and his brother Muhammad b. Ali al-Bakir, not, however, on this issue, but rather on the question of Zayd being a disciple of Wasil b. Adha and learning from a man who believed it possible that his grandfather was in error in fighting those who broke their allegiance, or those who debated, or those who actively rebelled against him. They referred also in regard to Zayd's views. So noong narinig ng mga Shiites ng Kufa na pinahayag ni Zayd ang ganong pananaw at nalaman niya na hindi na siya maghihiwalay sa dalawang senior na companions or kasamahan, ganon pa man siya ay na-reject or tinanggihan sa buong buhay niya. At ito din ang dahilan kung bakit sila ay natawag na Rafida or yung mga tinanggihan. They differed also in regard to Zayd's views on Qadr, which were contrary to those held by the descendants of the Prophet. A further point of disagreement was Zayd's opinion that an imam must rise up in revolt in order to be an imam. Finally, Bakir one day said to him, "It would follow from your views that your father was not an imam, for he did not at any time rise in revolt, nor did he show any sign of doing so." So hindi nila sinang-ayunan ang pananaw ni Zayd sa Qadar na kung saan ito ay salungat doon sa mga disidente or inaapu-apuhan ng propeta. Sa karagdagang hindi pagsang-ayon sa opinyon ni Zayd na kung saan ang imam daw or leader ay dapat sumali, lumaban or tumayo sa paghihimagsikan upang siya ay matawag na isang imam. At sa wakas, sinabi ni Bakir kay Zayd na siya ay susunod sa kanyang pananaw na ang kanyang ama ay hindi isang imam dahil ni isa ay hindi nila nakita ito sa paghihimagsikan or tumayo man lang dito, at hindi rin nila nakita na kahit anong senyales ng pagiging imam. When Zayd b. Ali was slain and his body crucified, Yahya b. Zayd assumed the imamate. Yahya went to Khurasan where many called his support of him. A prophecy from Ja'far b. Muhammad al-Siddiq had been and crucified as he was. At nung si Zayd b. Ali ay namatay at kanyang katawan ay ipinako sa krus, si Yahya naman ay kanyang tiniyak at sinigurado ang imamate or imahado. Or kapag sinabi natin ang imamate, ito ay isang office ng imam or ang isang lugar o bansa na pinamumunuhan ng isang imam. At ang propesiya na nagmula kay Ja'far b. Muhammad al-Siddiq ay nagkatotoo at naipako sa krus. This came about as was foretold. The imamate then passed to the imam Muhammad and Ibrahim, who rose up in Medina. Ibrahim afterwards went to Basra where he gained support. Both of these men however were also killed. Sadiq had already foretold to them only what would happen to them, at the same time telling them that his predecessors had foretold it all to him. Sadiq also foretold that the Umayyad, while conscious at the same time of the rancons of the descendants of the Prophet against them, would lift their heads on the high above the people, that if the mountains tried to rival them in height, they would raise their heads above them too. He also went to say that I was not permissible for the one of the descendants of the prophet to rise up and proclaim himself until God permitted the collapse of their empire. Pointing to Abu al-Abbas and Abu al-Jaffar, the sons of Muhammad bi Abi Ali Abdullah bi Abbas, then pointing to Mansur, he said, "We shall not pursue the affair of the caliphate until this man and his descendants have had their enjoyment of it." Hinulaan din ni Saddiq ang mga Umayyads habang may malay ito, at the same time habang ito ay may matinding sama ng loob sa mga descendant ng propeta laban sa kanila. Kanilang itataas ang kanilang mga ulo sa mga tao na kung saan kapag ang mga bundok ay kanilang or magtangkang kumalaban sa kanila, ay kanilang ding itataas ang kanilang mga ulo para magkipaglaban. Zaid b. Ali was put to death kusana in the city of Kufa by Hisham b. Abdul al-Malik, Yahya b. Zaid in Zuhzan of Kusaran by the governor Muhammad, the Imam in Medina by Sa'bi Haman, and Ibrahim the Imam in Basra, both of these latter by the order of Mansur. After that, the Zaydiyya remained disorganized till the appearance of their leader Nasir al-Atrus in Kusaran. Nasir was sought after so that he might be put to death, but he was abandoned his campaign and went hiding. Later, he went into the districts of Dailam and Al-Jabbal, which had not yet embraced Islam. He accordingly summoned the people in Islam, or to Islam as taught by the school of Zaid b. Ali. This they embraced and followed. The Zaydiyya remained strong in that region and were ruled over by a succession of their imams. In certain matters of doctrine, this group of Zaydiyya differ from their cousins, known as the Musawiyya. In time, most of the Zaydiyya abandoned the belief in the imamate of the one of the lesser excellence. They also criticized the companions of the Prophet, as did the Imamiyya. The Zaydiyya are divided into three groups: the Zarudiyya, Sulaimaniya, and Batriya. The Salihiyya hold the same views as the Batriya. The Zarudiyya, these are the followers of Abul Jarud Ziyad b. Abu Ziyad. They hold that the Prophet appointed Ali not by name but by the description, and it is he who the Imam after the Prophet. Men failed in their duty in not to recognize the description, and in not seeking for the one described. They set up instead Abu Bakr of their own accord, and thus become unbelievers. In holding this doctrine, Abul Jarud was in opposition to his Imam, Zaid b. Ali, who did not hold this belief. Ang mga Zarudiyya ay ang mga followers or tagapagsunod ni Abu al-Zarud Ziyad b. Abu Ziyad. Kinakapitan nila na ang propeta ay kanyang inappoint or pinili si Ali hindi dahil sa kanyang pangalan kundi dahil sa kanyang paglalarawan, at siya ang magiging pinuno, leader or imam pagkatapos ng propeta. Nabigo ang mga kalalakihan sa kanilang trabaho or tungkulin para kilalanin ang pagkakalinlangan o pagkakalarawan at ang hindi paghingi ng tulong sa isang naatasan nito. Nagkaisa sila. Sa halip, si Abu Bakar at kanyang sariling pagkasundo. Kaya sila ay naging unbelievers or hindi mga mananampalataya. At ang mga aral o turo na ito ay hindi inaproba or sinang-ayunan ni Zaid b. Ali. As for Abu al-Jarud, he was called Surhub, a name given to him by Abu Zafar Muhammad b. Ali al-Bakir, which, as he explains, is the name of a blind devil living in the sea. Among his followers were Fudail al-Rasan and Abu Khalid al-Wasiti. His followers differ among themselves on questions of law and sunnah. Some hold that the knowledge possessed by the descendants of Hassan and Hussein is like that of the Prophet. Knowledge is thus bestowed upon them. naturally and necessarily without study. Others, however, maintain that the knowledge they possess is one shattered by others or shared by others and may be acquired either from them or from others. Si Abul Jarod ay tinawag siyang Surhub na ang pangalang ito ay binigay sa kanya ni Abu Ja'far Muhammad B. Ali al-Bakir, na kung saan pinaliwanag niya ito bilang isang pangalan ng bulag na demonyo sa tubig or sa dagat. Kabilang sa mga tagapasunod nito ay sila Fudail al-Rasan at Abu Khalid al-Wasiti. Ang kanyang mga tagapagsunod ay naiiba patungkol sa kanilang mga tanong about sa sunna at saka sa mga batas. Ang iba ay kiniklaim or hinahawakan nila na ang kaalamang meron ang mga ninuno ni Hasan and Hussein ay kagaya ng sa propeta. Ang kaalaman ay likas nang ipinagkaloob sa kanila at hindi na kailangan ang pag-aralan ito. Sa iba, kahit papano panatilihin na ang kaalamang meron sila ay isa lang ibinahagi galing sa iba or pwede ring magkuha galing sa kanila or galing sa iba. These are the followers of Sulaiman bin Jarir who held that the imamate is a matter to be decided by the deliberation of the community and may even be determined by the agreement of two of the best Muslims. He further said that the imamate may validly exist in a man of lesser excellence even though one of greater excellence does exist. Sulaiman also upheld the legitimacy of the imamate of Abu Bakr and Umar by the choice of the community. So there are who held the imamate is a matter na kung saan ang magdi-decide nito ay ang mga pagtalakay or pag-usap-usap ng isang pamamayanan o isang komunidad at pwede ring malaman or matukoy sa kasunduhan ng pinakamagaling na dalawang Muslim or ang dalawang leader nila. Sa karagdagan, kanyang sinabi na ang pagiging imahinado or imamate ay pwede manatili or magkaroon sa tao or sa isang leader na hindi naman gaano kagaling or katalino. Kahit na meron din namang isa na mas mataas or mas magaling na nananatili pa. Arising from ihtizad, the judgment based on reason, he used sometimes to say nevertheless that the community was in error, giving allegiance to them while Ali was present, though the error did not actually amount to a sin. Fisk, it was an error of judgment, khata, ihtijad. Uthman, however, he attacked for the innovation which he had introduced and declared him as an unbeliever because of them. He also branded Aisha, Zubair, and Talha as unbeliever because they embraced on a way against Ali. The Rafida too were attacked by Sulaiman. According to him, the Rafidate leaders had laid down two doctrines for their followers, as a consequences of which no one could ever prevail against them. One of them was their doctrine of Bada, Jains. Whenever they foretold that they would have power, might, and victory, but what they had foretold did not come about, they would say there was a chance in what seemed fit to God. The other is Tarkiya, dissimulation. Whatever they had a mind to say, they said, but when it was pointed out to them that it was not time, and its falsehood was laid open before them, they would say whatever we said or did was a dissimulation. Some of the Mu'tazila follow Sulaiman in his doctrine that the imamate of one of lesser excellence is lawful even though one of the greatest excellence is living. Among them were Ja'far b. Mushabbahur, Jafar B. Harb, and Khathir al-Nawal, who is a traditionalist. They held that the imamate was that aspect of religion which promotes the public welfare. It is not required for the knowledge of God and His unity, because thus knowledge is obtained through reasoning. The imamate is needed, however, for the administration of divine law, for purposes of adjudication between disputing parties, for the care of orphans and widows, for the defense of the faith, for the proclamation of the word, and for the fight against the enemies of religion. Moreover, by the imamate of Muslims form a united body, and there is no anarchy in the community. It is not necessarily, therefore, for the imam to be the most learned man of the community, nor the most senior and most wise, for the needs of the community can be supplied by one of inferior qualities. Through there may be found a man well endowed with the required qualities or even excellence in them. Most Sunnites also included to this view, and even say that the imam need to be the one capable of exercising personal judgment in matters of law. Muhtazid not need to be acquainted with the areas of ihtizad, independent judgment based on reason. He must, however, have the service of someone who is capable of ihtizad, whom he can consult in matter of law, and whose opinion he can ask as what or to as lawful or unlawful. Nevertheless, he must in general be a man of sound judgment and deep insight into contemporary affairs. The Salihiyya and the Batriyya. The Salihiyya are the followers of Hassan b Salih b Habi Hay, and the Batriyya the followers of Khatir al-Nawa al-Abtar. Both hold the same views. Their doctrine of the imamate is the same as that of the Sulaymaniya, except that they do not commit themselves the question as to whether Uthman is a believer or unbeliever. So, ang Dasalihiya at ang Batriya ay ang tagapagsunod ni Hasan b Salih b Hay, at ang Batriya ay ang mga tagasunod ni Khatir al-Nawa al-Abtar. Ang dalawang grupo na ito ay isa lamang ang kanilang pinanghahawakan na pananaw. Ang kanilang turo o kaalaman sa imamate o yung pagiging leader ay magkaparehas lamang sa Sulaymaniya, except sa hindi sila nangangako or gumagawa or isasali nila ang kanilang sarili sa paggawa ng tanong na kung sakaling si Uthman ba ay isang believer or mananampalataya or isa ba siyang hindi mananampalataya. At kanilang sinabi na noong narinig namin ang tradisyon o kaugalian ng pagpabor sa kay Uthman, at noong narinig namin na siya ay isa sa mga 10 katao na pinangakuan na makakapasok sa paraiso, aming tinanggap na kailangan namin siyang pasalamatan at kilalanin sa pagiging mabuti niya o sa kaniyang pakikitungo sa relihiyong Islam at sa kaniyang pananampalataya. At siya ay isa sa mga makakapasok sa paraiso. Pero nung aming tignan ang kaniyang mga gawain, kagaya ng kapabayaan niya sa pagdidisiplina sa mga Umayyads at sa mga Abu Marwan, sa kaniyang autocratic o sa pagiging dictatorial niya sa kaniyang ugali or asal na salungat sa pamamaraan ng mga companions o yung mga kasamahan ng Propeta Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Naramdaman namin na obligado kami or na may kalayaan kaming sabihin at ipahayag na siya ay isang hindi mananampalataya. Gayunpaman, hindi pa kami tiyak sa kanya, kaya namin siya nahatulan at i-refer at ikonsulta ang mga bagay sa magagaling na mga tagapaghatol. As for all they say that he was, after the Prophet, the most excellent of men and the most eligible for the imamate, but of his own accord he handed it over to others and submitted to them, willingly giving up his own rights. We are content with that he was content and approved what he approved. We cannot do otherwise. If Ali had not consented, Abu Bakr would have perished. At para sa karamihan, sinabi nila na pagkatapos ng propeta, siya ang pinakamagaling or isa sa pinakamagaling at karapat-dapat para sa pagiging leader. Pero para sa sarili niyang kasunduhan, ibinigay niya ito sa iba at ipinasa niya ito sa kanila. Ayon sa kaniyang kagustuhan, kanyang tinalikdaan ang kaniyang sariling karapatan. Kontento na kami sa kung ano ang nakakakontento sa kanya at aming ding inaprubahan at pinayagan ang kung ano ang kanyang inaprubahan at kanyang pinayagan. At wala na rin kaming magagawa. At kung hindi lang pinahintulutan ni Ali si Abu Bakar ay malamang ay siya ay nawala na. The Imamiyah. The Imamiyah are those who believe that after the Prophet, the imamate belonged to Ali on the ground of clear designation and unambiguous appointment. An appointment made nor by referring to him through a description but by indicating him in person. So, ang mga Imamiyah ay sila yung mga naniniwala na pagkatapos ng propeta, ang imamate or pagiging leader ay belong or pagkaari ni Ali sa malinaw na pagtatalaga at hindi malinaw na paghirang. Ang usapan o katungkulan na nagawa or ginawa sa pagtukoy sa kanya sa pamamagitan ng description or paglalarawan pero sa pagpapahiwatig sa kanya ng sa personal. The Shiites delivered his message, God will protect you from men. When the prophet reached the pool of Kuman, he asked for the land between the tall trees to be cleared. The call then went out that the prayer was about to begin. While the prophet was still in the saddle, he said, of whomever I am the martyr, Ali is the martyr. May God befriend those who befriend him, and be an enemy to those who are enemies to him. May he assist those who assist him, and forsake those who forsake him. May the truth be with him whenever he goes. So I have delivered the message. Then he said 3 times, according to Imamiyah, this was a clear appointment. They say, we call to mind of those of whom the prophet was the master and the sense in which he was the master. Then we apply it to Ali. The companions understood Rawliya or appointment as we understand it. Ibn Umar, he met Ali, said to him, blessed are you, Ali. You have now the master of every believers, both men and women. So habang nasa saddle or lalagyan ng siya ang propeta, kanyang sinabi na, sa kanino man na ako ang kanilang master or sinusunod, si Ali ay ang susunod or master. At naway kaibiganin ng Allah ang iyaong mga sino mang kumakaibigan sa kanya, at maging kaaway at kalaban niya ang Allah sa kung sino man ang maging kalaban niya at kaaway niya. At naway i-assist ng Allah ang iyaong mga nag-a-assist kay Ali. At naway talikuran ng Allah ang iyaong mga tumatalikod or tatalikod sa kanya. At naway ang katotohanan ay mapasa kanya kahit saan siya pumunta. So, aking inatid at ipinahayag ang mensaheng ito. At kanya pang sinabi ng nakatatlong beses, ayon sa Imamiyah, Ito ay isang klarong kausapan or kasunduhan. At kanilang sinabi, tinatawag namin ang yaong mga tao na kung saan ang propeta ang kanilang master or amo at yaong mga may nararamdaman o sa palagay nila na ang kanilang amo ay ang propeta, then ilalagay na namin ito sa kay Ali or aming gamitin ito kay Ali. Naintindihan ng mga companions or yung mga kasamahan na ang rawliya, appointment or kasunduan sa kung paano namin ito naintindihan. Kahit si Umar nung nakita or nakasalamuhan niya si Ali ay kaniyang nasabi na, pinagpala ka o Ali, ikaw na ngayon ang amo ng bawat mananampalataya, mapalalaki man ito or babae. So hanggang dito na lamang po, naway meron tayong natutunan at maraming salamat po. Syukran, jazakumullahu khair.